In this video, I'll demonstrate how to connect a 380-volt 6-inch motor to a 6-inch 380-volt 3-phase automatic control box. Warning: make sure to turn off or disconnect the power source before connecting the motor to the automatic control box. Let's go ahead and remove the 4 screws on the front of the control box cover. Now we can open the control box cover. The hinges are on the left. There's a wiring diagram just above the main circuit breaker, showing the connections of the main input power cable and the motor's power cable. Let's unscrew the cable clamp screws and remove the plastic cable clamp for the power supply cable. Now we can go ahead and unscrew the input power cable's gland cap. We can feed the input power cable through the gland cap and gland into the control box, and tighten the gland cap to hold the cable in place. Next, we can fasten the plastic cable clamp back into place, and then connect the 3 live wires from the 3-phase input power cable to the control box into the bottom of the circuit breaker at positions marked R, S, and T. We don't have to connect the wires in any specific order. If we find the motor is turning in reverse when connected, we can simply change 2 of the wires in the supply or the motor cable to reverse the direction that the motor is spinning. First, let's remove the plastic terminal cover from the connection terminals on the right marked U, V, and W. Then we can connect the earth wire of the input power cable to the connector strip at the right marked with the earth symbol. Moving back to the circuit breaker, let's connect the yellow wire from the input cable to the terminal connector at the position marked R. Then we can connect the blue wire to the terminal connector at the position marked S. Then we can connect the red wire to the terminal connector at the position marked T. Let's unscrew the motor cable clamp screws and remove the plastic cable clamp. Now we can go ahead and unscrew the motor power cable's gland cap. We can feed the motor power cable through the gland cap and gland into the control box, and tighten the gland cap to seal around the cable. Next, we can fasten the plastic cable clamp back into place. Now we can take the motor cable and fasten the black wire to the position marked U. Next, we can fasten the blue wire to the terminal connector at the position marked V. And then we can connect the brown wire to the terminal connector at the position marked W. Finally, let's fasten the green and yellow earth wire to the terminal connector on the right marked with the earth symbol, together with the supply cable earth wire. I'll demonstrate the connection of the float switch and water level probes in other videos. For now, we can replace the plastic terminal protector. We can close the lid of the control box. Now we're ready to test the connection. Let's plug in the control box. Then we can turn on the main circuit breaker inside the control box. The control box is in manual mode. You'll see the manual indicator displayed in the upper middle right of the control box display. We can start the pump by pressing the blue start button. The motor will start and you will see the shaft spinning. The arrow on the motor's label will show the direction the motor should turn. You can confirm the direction of the motor by lightly touching the shaft connector to feel the direction, and then confirm the direction with the arrow on the motor's label. Let's go ahead and stop the pump by pressing the red stop button. Let's turn off the power to the control box and then open the lid. If the motor is turning in the wrong direction, we can change the direction of the motor by swapping 2 phases from either the power supply connection or the motor power cable connection. We can go ahead, switch the U and V wires on the motor power supply connection. Let's close the control box lid and plug in the power cable again. The control box is still in manual mode, so we will need to push the blue start button again to start the motor. Now, if we lightly touch the shaft, we can feel that the motor is now spinning in the correct direction. We can stop the motor by pressing the red stop button. We will calibrate the 6-inch 380-volt 3-phase automatic control box to the motor and pump in another video. We can now replace the screws on the control box cover.